Hello, this is Mary Fish with Stampin' Pretty and StampinPretty.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I wanted to share with you my latest studio. My husband and I bought a house in Tucson, Arizona, and I decided this was the best possible space for my crafting room. But the key was it's about half the size at 9 by 10 of my previous studio. So today we're going to show you how to do a great craft room as efficiently as possible. So I'm going to walk on in, and you might even see a little kitty go by. Hello, honey. I'll explain to you why he's passing through in just a minute. Actually, I'll tell you now, that's his little secret passage into a garage storage area where he gets to go eat. I have combined it this time with the laundry, and I'll share the before pictures on my blog. I've stacked them because it just allows to free up very precious counter space. All the cabinets were done by my woodworking guys here in Tucson. There's even a little storage up there, and I go very far to the ceiling, again to maximize space and put things that I don't use as often near the top. Let me tell you about a few of my favorite things. These are Walnut Counters, and they may seem like an indulgence. I've got them on this side as well as my desk area. But they were from Floor Decor, not horribly expensive, and pretty easy to maintain. I keep a blotter down to avoid any kind of staining, but the bottom line is they are easy to clean. You just sand them a bit, and then the only care is about once a month I will oil them to keep the color looking good. I love them. I think it gives warmth to the space. Other things that I think lend a lot of personality is this amazing chandelier. How many people put a chandelier in a laundry? But I found it at an antique store. I loved the purples, lavenders, and crystal to give it that feminine, flirty feel. And then I found a small rug to really give it that touch of warmth that makes it feel oh so less laundry and much more about my crafting space. So as we come in, I'm just going to tell you about a few things. I have a sink so that I can clean all my stamps and faucet. Again, it's not a big sink because, again, counter space is very precious in a 9 by 10 space. And then I have all my laundry things here and below. In this cabinet, and I have to zoom a little bit here on those knobs. I got them at Restoration Hardware. They have the same lavender crystal look as a chandelier, so I was so excited to find them. And then here I've got tons of storage, and I have used, that's actually a Martha Stewart fold down bin. I got them a while ago. They were inexpensive, but they're great because they're soft when you're not using them and you can fold them down, or I can fill them full of my retiring products that I ultimately will be selling. Down below, I had my friend Brett at Stampin' Storage custom make some storage for my stamps. I really wanted them at eye level. I've learned a lot from my other studios, and this was one area I learned. I really wanted to be able to see my stamps and not have them as high up as I did previously. So they're organized. I have all of my sentiments here. Then my current stamp sets, meaning the latest catalog, which is the Occasions catalog. It's looking a little thin because I just moved my celebration stamps into the bin to be sold in the future. And then these are all my other stamps. And because I'm a business demonstrator, I really like to just keep my current things on hand and sell the rest. That's just a decision that works well for me. Let's take a peek in some of these drawers because I know you love to look inside. Because I've got the sink here, I have my cleaning supplies here as well as my Stampin' blocks because they all need to get cleaned and everything is organized. And people ask me, is it always looking like this when I'm crafting? No, the countertops look like a bomb went off, but I always keep my drawers pretty organized so I know right where to put them. This is kind of my 3D gift drawer that has my gift box punches, Stampin' Up bags, treat bags, glassine treat bags, and some fun little frillies so that I can quickly dress up a gift or a treat. And then this is just a deep personal drawer where I always know where my purse is. Vitamins, it could be really anything. It actually could function as another file drawer. So I'm going to actually sneak around here and show you this area first. This is near and dear to my heart. I've got my beautiful birds that visit me regularly. We might even get lucky and see a cardinal shortly that comes every day, and the hummingbirds. And then as you come closer, it's very bright in Arizona, but you can see some of the Coronado National Forest, which is at the top of the hill. I'm so fortunate to have that kind of a view. And I see that when I sit down, so it's pretty amazing seeing activity going on. And then I have this rock garden. And then backing up, I have my chair from my last house. I think the chair is a very important decision. It needs to be super comfortable because I spend a lot of time at the desk as well as crafting. And I have a pencil drawer, just a small pencil drawer here. And then to expand that, since it's such a tight space, more like a galley kitchen, I have more sort of desk-related things here, as well as here. This is just sort of my follow-up drawer with checks and postage and all that good stuff. So this whole side functions very much like an extension of the desk. So I have all of these files. Oop, there's another kitty shot. Oop, there we went. All right, those are my kitties. And backing around to the side, I have reused some of my favorite things from Stampin' Storage. I can't say enough. I have an affiliate link on my blog that I'll share so you can shop Stampin' Storage as well. But these products I have had in the last studio and they transitioned perfectly. I kept them in mind when I was planning the width of the different open bookshelves. But the first discussion will be the 8.5 by 11. I have a little place for each and every color, and then within each color I still use these project sleeves for the scraps. Works out beautifully. I organize them by color collection. Some people organize them by color. So super easy. I also have a television. I found a white one, not expensive. Sometimes I like to listen to the news or some show in the background. House and Garden Network is another favorite. Then this is all the 12 by 12. And again, I have sleeves that hold the scraps on top of the DSP. And then they're labeled as well so that I can see, looking up, what I'm looking at. Also from Stampin' Storage is this fabulous ink storage. It stores my pads, my markers, my re-inkers, and then I have punch storage. Stampin' Up! Has gone to more and more dies, which I love, but I'm a huge punch maven, so I would love to fill this back up again. I used to have a lot more punches, and I use them as much as I can. And then the ribbon storage is fabulous. I have everything in one place, and I can just grab and pull them out. And they're these little magnetic blocks. I think this is just genius, that help you push just like a bookend, but they've got the magnet to really keep the ribbon in place and not flopping over. And then I have these little bins I got years ago from IKEA for $1 a piece, maybe even less, that hold my baker's twine. This was actually the Blendabilities storage. And when Blendabilities went away, boo-hoo, I converted it to washi storage. It works great. And Brett from Stampin' Storage created some little spacers in the back so that you don't lose them. So all I had to do to convert that was just get these inexpensive little spacers. And then I have my embellishments, scissors, designer series paper swatches. This is kind of my wall of love. I have this bird card holder that you just hold on with these old-fashioned clothespins. I had it at the other house, and I love to switch in the cards that I get from other people. I really, really cherish receiving a card. Other key things, I have a drawer here for my grid paper, because this is where I do most of my stamping, because the inks are here and the paper as well. And then I also have piercing mats that say stamping only, so that I don't pierce with them, and I use them just primarily for my photopolymer stamps, because it helps me get a solid image if I stamp over that. I have a waste bin. Actually, it's a double waste bin for garbage, so I can just swoosh my paper scraps that I'm not going to keep right in there. Pretty key thing. I'm a big believer in drawers over doors. Drawers really help you organize and keep things individualized. And so when I can put a drawer in, I do. So this, let me back up. This bank of drawers, there's 4 here, and they each serve a purpose. The top one are my cutters and trimmers as we move down, and things that I use just to very often are closer to the top. So I've got all my adhesives here and organized and ready to go. And as we work towards the bottom, things I don't use quite as frequently, these are envelopes and the envelope punch board. And then now I'm down on my knees. You might hear my knees crack. And then here are things at the bottom that I don't use quite as much. Here's my crocodile that I keep hoping will come back someday. I've got the scoring tool, and I've got some extra piercing mats in that drawer stashed. And then as we walk over here, I have all of my Big Shot plates and pads, my bristle brush, and all of my heat tools. My heat and embossing supplies. And then as we go down, I have more embellishments in here. I've got my enamel shapes, rhinestones, some extra cards. And some of this is still a work in progress. Okay, what is the best way? The more I work in this space, the more I realize, something would be better organized someplace else. These are bins from Stampin' Storage, and they're designed to work with one of my favorite things they have are these magnet sheets. And they come in different sizes. So I have them in 2 boxes, 1, 2, by alphabet. So this is babies first. It just keeps everything in place, and then I label the name plus the number of dies, because the die sets are getting so large. I want to make sure I've got them all before I put them away. And then at the back, I have my embossing folders, and I label those as well. And down below, this is just a great little corner cubby that I have turned into my packaging area. Since I send a lot of packages, everything is ready to go. A couple other key important things. I added 4 can lights above, in addition to the chandelier. I think lighting is so important, as well as lighting above my desk area, which you can't see, it's tucked up. But I also opted this time to not use tape lighting or rope lighting. I find the light from just a simple LED bar not only less expensive, but brighter and easier to work with. So I have that lighting going all the way around and on this side as well, so I can get lots of light. And it's mounted on the kind of the middle rather than the back, so that it gets a little closer to the work surface area. And then the color. Since my inspiration is this fixture, I went with this really yummy kind of brownie plum, brownie lavender. And I think it's just sweet and feminine. And again, I'm all about giving this much smaller space personality. And even though it's small, it is very efficient. I mean, I still have open shelves and ways and fairly empty cabinets. Down below here, I actually have tucked in my printer right above the little kitty exit. Down below on this side, underneath the desk, again, I made more storage of things that I don't need to get to a lot, but it's available and works for me. So thank you for joining me. I'm about to head out to San Diego to the Stampin' Up! On Stage convention. I get to see so many people and talk like crazy about Stampin' Up! Thanks for joining me for my little tour of the new studio. Bye-bye.